Kind of feel like watching Missouri State and Middle Tennessee instead of the playoff baseball. Is that bad?
I got the 4 screen on right now, and it's a solid game, dude.
You got 3 different sports rocking on that?
Dude, yeah, I gotta fix the other sport that's rocking on it. Because the other one's the WNBA finals. And hockey's on, if I do remember correctly.
That it is.
But they don't want to give me a 4 screen because YouTube TV sucks. And they want to give me Chicago Fire over. Oh no, there it is, Boston Bruins.
We might be switching to YouTube TV.
Y'all should.
A is raising their prices again, and then B, apparently they have plans to completely merge all of Hulu into the Disney
Plus. Yeah.
Which we have so many like buffering issues and this issue where all of a sudden we'll be watching something and it'll go on mute and fast forward at the same time. And I was doing some reading and it was like, oh yeah, these are known issues that Disney Plus has, but they just don't give enough of a fuck to fix them because it would cost them money and you're not going to cancel your Disney Plus subscription.
No, you're not. They almost dare you to. Which
I'm like, God, fuck Bob Iger.
I get it.
Some hell someday.
I get it. All right, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
And 3, 2. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofix one, AJ. Joining me, as always, man with the number, sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond, all hail the king of the links, the money train, Noah. How you doing today, bub?
I'm good, AJ. We got Wednesday college football. We're so close. I think we're a week or 2 away from getting that Tuesday college football added.
No, we're here. Starting tonight, 49 straight days of football, Noah. 49.
Yeah.
49.
Yeah, that's right. Next week, we get some Tuesday and Wednesday college football action.
Yes, sir.
And we'll continue to have that for the next, 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever it is.
Well, not to mention NHL season starting as well, and so we can get that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays too, get that quad box going, and, really lean into it with the sports equinox right around the corner with baseball playoffs going off as well. Noah, we do have a lot to talk about. We're focusing on college and the NFL today because those are the big bets this weekend, but we might dip into some other stuff. But before we go any further, I do just want to take a moment, Noah, to shout out everyone watching here on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit those follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But Noah, I do want to start off. We're not going to start. Well, I guess we are starting off gambling in a way. But I do want to take okay. Sorry, I had like 3 different ways I was going to open the show in my head, and all of them just merged together in one. So we're going to go ahead and restart. The NCAA is really good at getting into the headlines when they don't need to be in the headlines, especially when they're irrelevant. And we see this from the NCAA all of the time that, nothing's really coming out. There's nothing really to investigate, but hey, we got to keep ourselves relevant. We got to keep ourselves a part of this. And the NCAA has decided to do that again, Noah, dropping today that, the NCAA has approved a rule allowing college and staff to bet on professional sports. This is pending the the D2 and D3 NCAA's boards also agreeing on this. And so it passed D1 and then it will trickle down to D2 and D3. Noah, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you're definitely frozen. Let me know shoot me a text if you can hear me at all.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Holy shit. But Noah, I mean, like, I kind of get it, and then I kind of don't. Like, yes. Would this stop a lot of the gambling investigations? Sure, probably, because right now with the blanket rule, I am sure there's a lot of college athletes, and the ones that especially have been allowed to return to play have kind of shown, like, we never bet on college sports. We only bet on professional. Like, sorry, we misunderstood. Huh?
Well, I wouldn't say all.
No, I wouldn't say. No, I'm not saying all, but a lot. I would say probably more than more than it's worth the money to investigate that it was just professional football or whatever sports they were betting on. I don't like this though. And I don't like it for the same reason that you're not allowed to bet on the sport that you play on or anything like that. In college right now, even with NIL and everything, people are friends, people are buddies. You have those college friends for life sometimes. I mean, Noah, look at us. We were roommates by accident, and here we are today recording in our 6th year of this podcast. But my point being, I think it opens up the professional leagues and everything to a little bit more of the fuckery and everything like that, because, your boy calls you up. Hey, dude, I'm a little short on catch. You think you could go under 49.5 receiving yards this week? You think you can drop a couple balls for me? Like, it would really help me out, man. Like, I just think it opens it up more to that type of shenanigans in the long run. Short term, probably a better idea. The NCAA probably doesn't have a lot of money to be investigating every gambling charge. And so putting out this to make it just college sports makes sense. But again, I think it just opens up a lot of liability on the professional side of it all.
Yeah, I think it's a massive slippery slope that they're diving into here. And, they're like, oh, okay, cool. So we can bet on professional sports. They're doing that, keeping some funds in their gambling account. And then, they're out having fun with the boys one night and, accidentally bet on some college games.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is not a good thing. I think I just don't see this. I don't see this ending well.
No, and that's the issue. Like, this doesn't. It's the continued pattern of the NCAA making shitty decisions and this being on top of it. And, maybe they've heard a lot of complaints from these athletes and everything, but I think we're at a slippery slope, like you mentioned, Noah, of what really is professional sports right now. I mean, these college athletes are getting paid. Are they not professionals at what they do? Is this not, pretty much a professional league, but we're all just kind of dancing around that phrase for some reason because they're still a part of an institution? Like, this all just stinks to high owl.
Yeah, and they're opening up the door for a really big gray area. I don't see a scenario where this is a overall positive move.
No, not at all. And I mean, and just thinking about it, like, how is there not a lawyer in the NCAA or someone that's like, hey, in a couple of years, if a kid bets on college and he comes to us with an argument that college athletes are professional athletes, we might have an issue going into that lawsuit if they end up, excommunicating him or whatever. And I don't know. I was flabbergasted. Like, I really thought it was Centel or something that was putting this out, but no, it was every major media outlet. And what fascinates me more than anything, though, is this is a decision or something I would have thought would have came at the beginning of sports betting. You know what I mean? When it started to become legalized in all of these states and everything, I really thought, if they would have done a ruling like this, it would have been at the beginning of it, because you can kind of be naive about it and still want the kids, that are 21 and older to have some fun or whatever. But this is coming after years and years of it being very legal, very publicized, in multiple states, and still getting, legalized in other states, but slower now. I think, it's going to be a while until the other ones that have the ones that have held out are going to hold out and not have it happen until it needs to. But it's a whole other conversation. But it's bad. This is not good.
It's also crazy, too, because over half of student athletes presumably are under the age of 21.
Yeah. And so why? And again, why lift that blanket? You had a blanket statement on the entire thing. No gambling. And now we're opening the floodgates. Like, why are they trying to create issues? So they can keep their name in the headlines, so they can stay relevant?
Yeah, I don't know. It just the whole thing kind of stinks, and just feels like they're again opening the door wide open to future issues.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I give it 3 years. There's going to be a lawsuit of a player, being unable to play college sports for betting on a college game, and their argument's going to be that college athletes are professionals, and that's going to open up that whole floodgate again, which they're trying to stay away from, but I really don't know how they stay away from it at this point. But anyway, enough about boring business bullshit.
Well,
No, you ready to get into some gambling?
I was also going to say, right, like, it's something where they every time there's an ad for any of these sports books or anything, they plaster the phone number on there. So you're going to get these kids into a habit of betting on games, and then when they turn professional, they're just going to stop.
Yeah, really? They're just going to stop betting on professional games? No, but now they can bet on college.
You've allowed them for 2 years, their last 2 years in college, to bet on sports games at the professional level, and looks like I'm hitting at a pretty decent clip at this. I'm pretty good. And then they turn pro. Or they're just gonna stop cold turkey and not gamble anymore? Like, there's a reason there's a fucking hotline, because gambling is addicting. People do get addicted to gambling. This is just bad news all over the board.
Not good. Not good whatsoever. But Noah, silly us for thinking the NCAA would make a good decision at any point, so that's on us. That's on us. But cool. Speaking of gambling, you ready to get into it?
Yes, sir.
Dude, because I got to say, you've been killing the slates this season for college football. You've been killing putting them together. I love all of the games on here. And I got to say, though, actually, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. That's going to give away my dog of the day, the shirt. It's going to give away the shirt, and I don't want to give away the shirt, Noah. So let's go ahead and dive into it, Noah. We are starting, I believe, on Thursday night with some college football.
That we are.
Gotta love it. Can't wait. You can't go dual screen, though, because Amazon's got that Prime bullshit. So shout out to Amazon for ruining my Thursday night. East Carolina and Tulane. Green Wave, 6.5-point favorites in this one. 52.5 is the total. Noah, where is it? I just had it. There it is. 75% of the bets, 99% of the money on.
Ooh. I'm going to say Tulane on this one.
East Carolina. The public is loving East Carolina, and I can kind of see why they're liking East Carolina. The losses to BYU, North Carolina State, bigger names, and so that kind of can go with it. Tulane with the loss to Ole Miss, just that one loss. I see where the public's at, a couple of harder losses with BYU and North Carolina State for East Carolina, but not to mention the fact that, Retzloff, I don't know if we're seeing the same magic we saw at BYU, and I think that definitely has to do with personnel around him and all that, but he's still playing solid. It's just not the same. And I think that's what's a little disappointing. With that being said, the public's been so shitty this year in gambling across the board. I'm going to go ahead and take Tulane minus the 6.5 at home. I do like this East Carolina team, but I'm feeling the home team on this one.
Yeah, I feel like in general, like the public ends up hitting it about somewhere in the 40 to 45% range, which is why these books make so much money, why they stay in business. Aside from that, this is a fun game, right? These are two teams that, they're not at the forefront of the group of five, but they're in the mix, right? These are two teams that playoff hopes are not dead. They both need a lot to happen, a lot of help if they're going to get there. I think whoever loses this game just about crushes their hopes of making the playoffs. But this will be a fun one. This will be a fun one. Two teams that have played pretty damn well so far this season. I am going to ride Tulane at less than a touchdown at home. I do think they are the better team, and I think that's going to show. I think they might win this by about 2-3 scores, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see this being total blowout as well. I was thinking about the over, but I'm just worried East Carolina is not going to score enough points, so I'm staying away from that one in general. Let's keep it moving, Noah, to Friday Night Football. We've got USF, North Texas. You warned me this game was going to be on the slate this week yesterday, and I was ready for it, Noah. I like this one a lot. I like it a lot. 1.5. I mean, this is really North Texas's first challenge this season. I hate to say that, but they went to OT with Army and William and Mary. And I'm sorry, bro. You go to OT and William and Mary. I don't know if you should be favored in a football game.
They got a couple
And
nice ones on their schedule, though.
a couple of nice wins, but that overtime and William and Mary just kind of really sticks out to me. And don't get me wrong, bad loss to Miami for USF, but that's really their only thing on there. Give me USF money line, South Florida just continuing to keep it roll.
Yeah, I talked about, the last game, two teams that are going to need a lot to happen, need a lot of help. These are two teams that at the moment are in control ish, about as in control as you can be of your own destiny as far as getting one of those 12 spots in the college football playoff. This is a huge, monumental game. This is probably one of the, I would say this is definitely going to end up being one of the top 5 games as far as group of 5 goes. Maybe top 3, maybe, depending on how the season plays out, might end up being the most important game. I know Memphis is also in the same conference here, so another team, Memphis 6-0, first team to be bowl eligible. But this is a huge game. I'm a little bit surprised to see North Texas favored. They have played at times really good football. It just hasn't been consistently really good. USF has looked really good outside of getting absolutely shellacked by Miami. But that's the number 2 team in the country playing on the road. They did have the win on the road in the Swamp, beat Boise State pretty damn good week 1. I'm going with USF on the money line on this one. I do think this could end up being a close game, though. I don't know that this is going to be a runaway game by any means. But I do like USF to come out, win this one, keep her rolling, and we'll see how the American Conference plays out. Because you look at these Group of 5 teams, you got maybe you could stretch it to about 9 or 10 total in the mix, maybe 11 at the most. 3 or 4 of those are in the American Conference. So every time any of those teams are playing in the American, it's going to be a huge fucking game. And this is the first one we get to see. And if North Texas can pull off, not even an upset because they're favored by 1.5, but if they can pull off the victory here, North Texas puts themselves maybe not in the driver's seat, but pretty damn close to it.
I would agree. The line's where it's at because 59% of the bets and 99% of the money coming in on North Texas. So that makes me believe, because USF, if we're going to be honest, USF is a great number to tease. And we don't talk about teasers on this show a lot, but USF, you want to go ahead and throw together a teaser. That's not a bad one to put in there. Love USF money line though. Let's keep it moving, Noah. Ohio.
That's a great point, AJ. If you are putting together a teaser, you catch, generally for football, 6-point teaser, catch USF at a plus 4.5 type of line on this. If they're going to lose, I don't imagine it'll be by more than a field goal. So
no. And so just a good one to tease up, put in a teaser, call it a day. We've not talked about, we don't do teasers much on this show really, though. We should do some more teasers.
Teaser would put them at 7.5.
7.5, and that's what you would want it at.
Yeah, if you look,
basketball is 3.5.
If you like North Texas a lot, you can tease that and get them at plus 4.5.
4.5, yes, that's where your math was.
Either way, I expect this to be a tight game.
Yeah.
So, I don't hate either of those, to be completely honest.
No, good teaser either way on that. It's a good tease game.
USF plus 7.5 sounds beautiful because I do not think they lose by more than a touchdown.
No, not at all.
That way, even if it goes to overtime, you're still probably okay.
Yeah. Another good tease game, depending on which way you like, and on either way you like it. Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State, 14.5-point favorites on the road. 49.5 is the total on this one. Noah, what you got?
Hey Jay, I got the Fighting Illini to cover this one. I do think Ohio State walks out of Champaign with the victory, but as you know, I have been much higher on Illinois than the AP poll, much higher on Illinois than most people putting out their polls. Even after the Illinois loss, I know they were creeping up there. My numbers were not far off from where, AP, a lot of the public numbers were. And then that Indiana game happened, and people dropped Illinois like a fucking landslide. They've clawed back up a little bit, but I've still got them as my 13th best team in the country.
Yeah.
Like I have said it, and I will continue beating the drum that game was fluky. If they play that game 10, 15, 20 times, I think Illinois wins about half of them. maybe slightly less than half because it was in Bloomington, and Indiana is really damn good. But they are not losing by anywhere close to 53 points. If they play 19 more times in the same scenario, I don't even think they lose by more than 30. Maybe like in any of those. Like they just put together a horrific fucking game, and that's all anybody's focusing on. This is a really good Illinois team. If you look at every other game they've played this year, other than the Indiana game, they've been dominant. They've been dominant on both sides of the ball. This is going to be no cakewalk for Ohio State. I would respect the 14.5 if they were playing at the shoe. As we saw with, Indiana's wonderful season last year, and then they went to the shoe and just got obliterated. The shoe's a really tough place to play. But the home crowd's going to be full on, full out. Illinois had a great bounce back win, and now they're ready. I think they're going to be very competitive in this game. I don't think they ultimately get the W in this, but Ohio State is going to have to be Ohio State's going to have to bring their game. They're going to have to bring their game to this. If they get off to a slow start like they did at Washington 2 weeks ago, Illinois is going to have a chance to win this game. So Ohio State's going to need to come out of the gates fast and hungry, because if they come out looking like they did 2 weeks ago against Washington, Illinois could get up 2 scores on them by the first or second quarter. And then Ohio State's playing catch up. And Illinois does have the talent and the firepower on both sides of the ball to keep a lead. I do think they're going to need to get out to an early lead if they want to have a chance at winning, because Illinois also can't be playing from behind. That's for sure. However, 14.5, I love the hook on this. I'll take Illinois to keep this within 2 touchdowns. I ultimately think they end up losing by somewhere in the 6 to 10 point range.
I want to, before I say anything further, I like this Illinois team a lot. I respect the hell out of this defense. I think that offense could use a little bit of help, but they're good overall. I'm on Ohio State.
I don't know. I think they have maybe the best, arguably the best quarterback in the Big Ten in Luke Altmaier. And that's a guy who does not get anywhere near the level of respect that he deserves. Junior Sean's been playing out of his mind, but don't sleep on Luke Altmaier. I think this offense for Illinois is totally capable of putting up points. This defense is
I would agree. Yeah,
so.
Very, very capable. And Ohio State, they had one rough game so far this season, and that was against a very good Texas defense in week 1 in the shoe. But Illinois, I'm worried about how they can, kind of adapt to explosive offenses. And I think Texas's defense is a little bit better than Illinois'. And I am just worried about the explosiveness of Ohio State's offense that we know it can be. And I agree with you, Noah. They can't get off to a slow start. I don't think they're going to get off to a slow start. I don't think Illinois is going to allow them to get off to a slow start. I got Ohio State minus the 14.5. Also taking the under 49.5 in this one. I think Ohio State's defense is really going to clamp down on Illinois.
See,
I like this Illinois team a lot. I'm not going to, again, I think if they lose by 2 touchdowns, Ohio State covers, doesn't deserve to be dropped out of the 25. That's, number 1 team in the country, but let's see how bad they lose.
Yeah, I'm actually on the over on this one. I think we're going to get a
nice shootout.
I think we're going to get a high scoring, a little bit of a shootout. My final score prediction for this is 36-30 Ohio State.
Jeez. Okay.
And it is Ohio State's not going to have this game put away at any point. Like, they are going to be playing all full 60 minutes in this one.
We'll see how that goes. Next game on our slate, Noah, Alabama, Mizzou. Alabama 3.5 point favorites on the road. 51.5 is the total. 66% of the bets, 99% of the money on
Alabama.
Mizzou.
Ooh, okay.
Coming in on the home dog plus the 3.5 at some books, depending on what you're looking at. I get it. I get it, Noah. I totally get it. Alabama lost to FSU. I get it. Okay, it happened. But then Alabama continues to go on and just, have win after win after win and looking a little bit better and better and better every week. Besides that loss, they look good. And Mizzou really hasn't played anyone worth of note at all this season. They've had a couple of close games that they probably shouldn't have been close. They've been able to really put away those lower tier teams. I'm rolling with Alabama and the Tide on this one, minus the 3.5. I think they win this game by a touchdown and have a nice little day.
Yeah, this was a tough one for me. I went back and forth a bit, but I honestly I think this is a perfect storm. This is a perfect storm. Mizzou's coming off the bye week. Their offense has looked extremely explosive all year. Um, haven't lost a game yet. Haven't had a game that's particularly close, to be honest. Some of the final scores might. I mean, what 9 points against South Carolina is probably their closest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just been all blowouts. Other than the, I guess, 11-point win against a good Kansas team at home. Mizzou is plenty capable. They're coming off the bye week. They've had 2 full weeks to prepare for Bama. 2 full weeks. And then you look at the flip side. Bama has had to put a lot of effort and energy into going into Georgia, beating Georgia, and then having to turn around and have a very dangerous Vandy team coming in there. And they handled both of those very well. But it's got to be tiring. And I don't think Bama's going to be at their best in this game. It's a road game. Not that they're traveling super far. Luckily, in the SEC, you don't have to go super far. No type of Big 12 or especially Big 10 type of travel or ACC now too. However, they're going on the road. They're not sleeping in their own beds. They don't have their own meals and everything. Mizzou's had that 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I think the line is at a respectable place here at just 3.5, depending on where you're seeing it at. I'm going to go with Mizzou money line on this one. Confidence level at about a 4 on it, but I think it's a perfect storm brewing where they could catch Bama with not their A game. And if Bama does not have their A game for the 3rd week in a row, they're not winning this game. And I'm not saying Bama can't bring their A game for the 3rd week in a row and get a 3rd win in a row over a very good ranked team. But the more of those you have in a row, week after week, Saturday after Saturday, the higher the chance that you're not going to have your full A game there. And one or two guys make a couple mistakes and leave this game wide open, Mizzou's going to have a chance to win this game. And I'm calling my shot. I'm saying Mizzou money line. This is not my dog of the week because I'm only at about a 4 out of 10 on my confidence level on this. But that is my official pick, Mizzou money line.
All righty. Well, let's move on to the next game. No, we've got Indiana.
Over 51.5 as well.
All right. Indiana, Oregon, next one on our slate. 7.5. Oregon favored at home. 55.5 is the total. This is your college game day for this week. 49% of the bets, 89% of the money on
Indiana.
Ducks. On the Ducks minus the 7.5. You are terrible at this, bro. Terrible at this. On the Ducks minus the 7.5 at home. Listen, both teams look good, Noah. I think this is one of the better top 10 matchups we are going to get this year in Indiana and Oregon. Signetti, Dan Lanning, both extremely good head coaches who have all the boys going in the right direction. I think teams that are, potentially due for a playoff berth, but again, probably only one going from the Big Ten, maybe two. I wouldn't be surprised if this is even maybe a precursor to the Big Ten championship coming up, if we're going to be honest. That's
a bold call, but
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I mean, Ohio State's probably at this moment, this is the 2nd and 3rd ranked Big Ten team. You got Ohio State at 1, and then after Penn State's blunders, and Michigan is continuing to win, but not dominating anybody. And then Indiana's already blown the shit out of Illinois. So I don't hate it. I just think Ohio State's going to be in that game against. Probably against one of these two teams.
All I said is I would not be surprised if this is a precursor, a pre-match to the Big Ten finals. That's all I said, Noah. I'm not coming out here and saying this is it. I know Ohio State exists. Okay, I just picked Ohio State to win by 14.5. Don't get me wrong.
I wasn't shitting on it because I would not be surprised if one of the two of these teams is in the Big Ten championship. I just don't know that we're going to get both, but we'll see. It's in the realm of possibilities, that's for sure.
It is. This was not a tin hat moment by AJ, but love Oregon. I think I don't know why I like Dan Lanning a lot more than Cignetti, and I like Cignetti a lot, but I think it's just I've seen Dan, do it a lot more and do it a lot more recently. Dan Cignetti's first year at Indiana, obviously very impressive and has had a great year so far. And I think he's going to continue to have a great year. No, I like this Indiana team a lot. I think Oregon's got what it needs. Give me Oregon minus that 7.5. Go Ducks.
Yeah. So you know what? Cignetti. Let's talk about Curt Cignetti. What he has done. I'm gonna even date it back to pre-Indiana. Everywhere he's gone, what has Curt Cignetti done?
Win football games, Noah.
Win fucking football games. Earlier on this season, Illinois was all the way up to 9. So Cignetti does have his first top 10 victory already under his belt in a 63-10 fucking fashion. And I think Cignetti, that maniac, the way that man operates, that just, he got a taste. He got a taste. He got a taste. And you know what? It's not enough. Cignetti wants fucking more. And he's the type of coach. I love this man as a fucking head football coach.
He's a great coach.
He's the type of coach where the entire locker room is going to just embody his mentality and his spirit. And it's just the way that he carries himself, the way that he leads this football team. He's going to have them going into this game thinking they're 14-point favorites. And they're all going to be believing that they're 14-point favorites. So they should win this game by 2 touchdowns. It doesn't matter. Oregon Ducks, who the fuck is that? Don't care. Yeah, man. I don't know if Indiana gets the win. I'm not confident enough to grab them on the money line. But 7.5, again, second Big Ten matchup where you're giving me the hook on a even touchdown or 2 line. I'm going to take it. And maybe that's what the book wants. Maybe that's why they're hanging it there. I'm going against the public on this one. I'm taking Indiana because I think Cignetti is going to have these boys ready. And he's going to have them. Oh, they've tasted blood in the water. They've tasted blood, and they're looking for more. And Oregon, much like Alabama against Mizzou, Oregon better bring their A game at home in this one, because if they don't bring their A game, this Indiana team is, they lose Curtis Rourke, they lock and reload. And basically every good player they lost from last year's roster, Cignetti went out and said, I'm going to get some guy just as good, if not better, and we're going to plug and play him. And they're all perfect system fits. And yeah, I think Indiana, is it going to be enough to win like a national title? I don't think so, but is it enough to win a Big Ten? I don't even know. I think maybe Big Ten championship, Indiana gets a rematch against Ohio State from last year. They're not going to get blown out, but I still don't think they win that. Either way, point being, I think Indiana's going to be in this game. This is going to be a game that, again, will be played for the full 60 minutes because neither team is going to be up by enough. Could you imagine if Indiana's just up 21 points going into the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
But yeah, give me the Hoosiers. I am, if you can't tell, and no disrespect to Dan Lanning, he's a hell of a coach. Oregon's got a hell of a program. They're always fucking good. But there's something special about Cignetti, and everywhere he's been, and he hasn't even been a head coach for that long, if you look compared to like most other college coaches. But everywhere he's been, he's just taken a program and within 2 years just been like, yep, this is a dominant winning fucking team. Indiana's already there, and it didn't even take him 2 years. It took him in his first year, and now he's in his second year. He's got to put his own little touch a little bit on some of the players. This is going to be a really fun one. This is my game I'm probably looking forward to the most this week, but I am taking Indiana plus 7.5. Not stretching that to the money line, but I do love that they're giving me 7.5 points on this.
Fair enough. Let's get to the next game, Noah. Oklahoma, Texas. We've got the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma, 1.5 point favorites. 43.5 is the total. Reports are stating that Mateer will be starting for Oklahoma after Dr. Chen did some wizardry. I think his statue will be erected at this game as well.
Just put it in the books already.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Play this one.
Arcane.
Texas favorite. Oh, Oklahoma's favored.
Oklahoma's favored. Oklahoma's favored. Where do you think the money's at? Hold on. 66% of the bets, 99% of the money.
It got to be on Oklahoma.
All on Oklahoma. I mean, yeah, give me Oklahoma minus the 1.5. Probably going to take alt spread at 6.5 and be happy with the plus money. Noah?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just checking. Maybe I read this wrong when I was looking at it line-wise.
No, Texas opened up as 9.5 point favorites beginning of the season.
So DraftKings, I know on ESPN bet there they had Oklahoma as 1.5 point favorites. DraftKings actually has Texas as 1.5 point favorites. Oklahoma at
I've been seeing it
line. So again, shop your fucking
shop
books.
your lines.
That's what I was looking at, and you're telling me some of these books have Oklahoma as dogs, and this isn't a home game for Texas. This is, I mean, I know it's in Dallas, but that's a. You know what? Dallas is probably hour and a half, 2 hour drive for Texas. Maybe what is that? Probably four to 6 hours somewhere in there from Norman.
I'm bad at geography. I don't fucking know.
I don't know why I'm asking you, but now this is a neutral site game in Dallas, and we've seen what Texas has looked like this year. We've seen what Oklahoma's looked like this year. I know this is like one of the top 5 biggest rivalries in college football. Red River always has some fun, but oh man, Boomer Sooner all day fucking long on this one. I'm hammering the money line. It feels wrong to take this as my dog of the week because Oklahoma should be a 7-8 point favorite in this. So I'm not taking it as my dog of the week on principle, even though I could. It's like stealing candy from a fucking baby here. I think Oklahoma wins this game by multiple scores. Multiple scores. Texas does have a good defense, don't get me wrong, but that offense is not going to be able to keep up with what Oklahoma can do. If John Mateer is back, not that they've even really taken that much of a step back without John Mateer, so I don't think it even matters that fucking much. But Oklahoma comes out of this big time on top. I don't see it any other way. I've got Oklahoma as a top 5 team in the country for a reason. And they're going to show why. They're going to show why. I've got them all the way up at number 3. I've got Texas just outside of the top 25. And they're going to show what a number 3 overall team does to an unranked or barely ranked team. And they're going to dog walk them. They're going to fucking dog walk them.
Yeah, I agree. I told you I'm taking the minus 6.5 and plus money, Noah. I told you I'm doing that. I agree.
Oh, I wasn't trying to argue you. I got a little passionate.
Yeah, you did. Holy shit. Next game on our slate. No, I'm interested to hear your pick on this one. Nebraska, Maryland. Nebraska going into the Terps, 6.5 point favorites. 48.5 is the total. 64% of the bets, 100% of the money on.
100% of the money.
So meaning that the money that's put on the other team is parlay bets, probably very minuscule, but a lot of them coming in.
On Nebraska.
Maryland.
God.
Public is loving the 6.5, and they should. They should be loving the 6.5. I mean, they've been playing well. They had a nice game against Washington last week. You know, nice bounce back spot. I get it. I think the public's dumb.
Until they blew that fucking game. They should have beat Washington. They
should have.
Maryland should be 5-0 and they should be ranked, but then they decided they only wanted to play one half.
But listen, at the end of the day, I really like what Matt Rule is put together here and is this only his second year, right? Second or third year at Nebraska?
It's got to be his third.
Maybe probably his third, but it seems like he's got his guys in there. He's got his culture in there. I like what he does, and Raiola seems to have calmed down a little bit. Still doing all the Patrick Mahomes stuff, but looking a lot better doing it now. Give me Nebraska minus the 6.5. I absolutely love it.
Nebraska minus 6.5. Huh. Well, I did it last week, and fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't be fooled again.
Can't fool me again.
My dog of the week for the second week in a row as a 6.5 point dog for the second week in a row. Should have fucking won it last week. I don't know what happened there. They blew a big lead against Washington. They're not going to do it twice in a row. Maryland's going to get the job taken care of here. With Nebraska coming to town, we're going to silence all of the Nebraska talk for the rest of the goddamn season after they lose this game, because I don't know how the Nebraska talk just always seems to fucking creep in. It's always their preseason, and then now they're 4-1. They barely beat Michigan State at home last week. They lost to Michigan in a tight one at home the week before that. They had a really close call against Cincinnati, who isn't a bad team by any means. I do have Cincinnati right outside of my top 25. But Nebraska's not that good, and this is a let-up spot for them. They're going to lose this game to Maryland. Maryland takes it. Money line, Maryland, go Terps.
Wow. I told you I was interested. And you definitely gave an interesting response. That's all I'll say.
Again,
that is
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't be fooled again. So,
can't be fooled again.
Thank you, W. Taking your wise advice and doubling down on Maryland money line.
Florida A&M 7.5 point favorites. 46.5 points is the total. The public has 40% of the bets, but 91% of the money on.
Oh God, Texas A&M.
Yes, sir, on Texas A&M with that 7.5. Listen, Florida beat Texas. Cool. So has, they haven't looked really good this year, and so I'm not taking a lot of stock in that win. Still think Billy Napier is trying to get that buyout as hard as he can, but it's not going to happen. A&M goes ahead and wins this one. They win this one easy. 7.5, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Agriculture and mechanical is much better than UT, and Aggies are playing at home, not in the swamp. 7.5 feels a little disrespectful to the way that Texas A&M has looked this season. They've looked really damn good. That's why they're either in a lot of people's top fives or right outside of a lot of people's top fives. Florida still don't have a number next to their name. Yeah, Texas A&M is going to cover this one just fine. I'm really not worried about them. The only shredded doubt in my mind is that they're going to start doing Texas A&M things, because they love to do that at some given point. You remember a few years back when they were ranked number 4 to start the season, ended the season unranked, went like 7-5. Yeah, I worry about Texas A&M because they have a habit of just like shit in the bed with big expectations on them, but they do feel really good this year. I think Elko he had a rough first year.
Yeah.
Had high expectations year one, had a rough time, got a full recruiting and transfer portal cycle. Texas A&M looks really fucking sharp right now. And so I think I have no problem with Texas A&M covering a touchdown plus.
I like it, Noah. Let's keep it moving. Georgia, Auburn. Georgia, 3.5 point favorites on the road. 46.5 is the total here. Public, 30% of the bets, 91% of the money on.
That's interesting. 30% of the bets, 91% of the money.
38% of the bets.
Well, yeah, okay. Got to be on Georgia, right?
Yes, on Georgia there. Yeah, on Georgia. The public loves Georgia. Well, the money loves Georgia here. The public loves Auburn. Usually this is where I would say follow the money, but I mean, listen, Auburn's been in a gauntlet the last three. Like this is the like they've been in a gauntlet. They had OU, A&M, and now they have Georgia. I mean, listen, they've played well against OU and A&M, but not, I think, well enough to keep it up against Georgia. Georgia looks good. They don't look nearly as dominant as they have in years past under Kirby Smart, but they still look really good. I will take Georgia minus that 3.5 on the road.
Yeah, they have hung in there really tight against Oklahoma and A&M in back-to-back weeks. So kudos to Auburn for that. It just doesn't get any easier this week. And if they have another close loss, respect to their just determination to keep going. But this feels like a good spot for the wheels to just fall the fuck off.
Yeah.
You held it real tight against two really good top 10 teams. And now you get another top 10 team, at least in my mind. They're right outside of the top 10 with the AP, whatever. Yeah, 3.5 is too little of a spread. Georgia, I think, and Georgia's got to be pissed off about that Bama loss. Like, Georgia is ranked 10, so I guess it is another top 10 matchup. Yeah, Georgia, they got a nice, after the Bama loss, get a nice little win against Kentucky. I would have liked to see it by a little bit more, but I think Georgia goes in and just beats the brakes off this Auburn team, just crushes their soul. Like,
yeah.
And then, Auburn, the tough part is they had two really good weeks the last 2 weeks. They just didn't get wins. And now if Georgia goes into Auburn and absolutely blows them out, and then the wheels are just going to fall off the wagon for Auburn because the morality is just going to be at an all-time low after 3 losses in a row, even though they're all the top 10 teams. And Auburn's just going to have a rough run for the rest of the season. That's my prediction of what's happening, not just for this game, but for the rest of Auburn's season. And this is going to be the just break the spine type of moment. It's just going to crush the morale. This is a morale crushing game. And if Auburn can win, they have some aspirations for the rest of the season. They can turn it around. They can make a push. They're not in a bad spot. They have 2 losses again, 2 top 10 teams. If they lose this one, though, it's bye-bye Auburn.
It's going to be
over. See you next year.
See you next year. Keeping it moving, Noah. USC 2.5-point favorites at home. 57.5 is the total. 79% of the bet, 79% of the money on
Michigan.
USC.
Oh, man.
Public loves USC. Line to open up at 1.5, moving up to 2.5. And Noah, we've talked about this USC team. This may be the best team that Lincoln Riley has ever constructed. This is a solid.
I wouldn't say that. He had better teams at Oklahoma, but
yeah, fair enough. But
definitely the best USC team that he has had, and he did have teams with Caleb Williams. He had a Heisman and Caleb Williams, and the overall team was worse than this one is.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams was crying in the crowd. Let's not forget that. And the Bears play again this week. That sucks. Anyway, listen, I know Michigan lost to OU, and that was not the best loss, but this team still looks really good. They get better and better every week, it feels like. I like the way they're using Bryce Underwood and the fact they've opened him up a little bit more. They keep doing that. They're going to keep having a good time. Noah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it so much, Noah. Oh, buddy, I liked it so much. I put it on the shirt. Give me Michigan on the money line. Big blue with the yellow spray paint because that's all I had. Give me Michigan on the money line here. I think they go ahead and wipe the floor with USC. And all positive talk of USC stops here. Again, they are a better USC team than they have been in the past. It's just not up to snuff for me. Give me Michigan on this money line.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They don't have a Pac-12 schedule.
True.
They don't have a Pac-12 schedule, and now you're going through the gauntlet that is the Big Ten. No fault to them. They got a really good team, but open up with Purdue and Michigan State, which they took care of business just fine. But then Illinois, and then you got to play Michigan, and then you're going to at Notre Dame next week, which I know isn't a conference game. But then you follow that up with at Nebraska, which is not a fun place to play. They do get Northwestern Iowa, and then they have Oregon on the road. This is gonna be one of the best 7-5, or either one of the best 8-4 teams or the best 7-5 team in the country. USC will, but they ain't getting it done here. I know Michigan's had a couple calls closer than they would have liked the last few weeks. But yeah, Wolverines are taking care of business in this one. I almost made this my dog of the week. I'm glad I didn't, just so we had a little variety there. But yeah, I'm all over Michigan on the money line. I think they take care of business on the road at the Coliseum.
I agree, Noah. Next game on the slate, BYU, Arizona. BYU 1.5 point favorites on the road. 60% of the bets, 84% of the money on.
I'm going to say Arizona just because there's no betting in Utah.
Yes, all of it on Arizona here, plus the 1.5, 2, depending on the sports book again. Shop your lines. First off, Noah, give me the over 47.5. I love the over in this game. Think we're going to get a high-scoring one. Listen, no one seems to want to talk about it, but BYU struggled against West Virginia and Colorado the last couple of weeks. I'm worried about that defense, and Arizona has an explosive offense. Our defense may not be up to snuff. That's why I got to the over, but I'm to the point where BYU's frauds. They're fraudulent, no, and I think Arizona exposed that one. Give me Arizona on the money line here, and let's have a day.
Yeah, I don't think BYU's frauds. I think they're a really good team. They're off to a 5-0 start. They're 2-0 in Big 12 play. Yeah, they've had two games that were probably closer than they should have been in conference play. Arizona's looked good, way better than expectations.
Me too.
That's for sure. And offense has looked explosive. Defense, definitely susceptible to giving up yards and points, but we're doing something that we didn't do last year, and that's forcing turnovers. I believe we're at this point either at or above our turnover total for the entire season last year.
Probably.
Through 5 games. I think we had 13 all of last year, and I think we had 9 going into Oklahoma State, and I don't remember how many exactly we got. Maybe 2 or 3. So we might be 1 shy. I don't know. Whatever. Either way. Forcing turnovers, even if the defense is giving up yards, is giving up some points here and there. Although, really, outside of the Iowa State game, the defenses look phenomenal. They've looked phenomenal, and so this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be one that could be close. I said it when we were going through the top 25 last week. I said if BYU wants to earn that number 16 next to their name, they need to win this game by 2 to 3 scores. Are they capable of doing that? Yes. Is Tucson a particularly tough road environment to play in? No. I wish it was. I wish I could sit here and say, yes, Tucson's a really basketball, different story, but football, not the toughest place to go in and play. We need to step it up a little bit. But Arizona's going to have a chance in this one. They're going to have a chance. I mean, if Arizona's playing well, if the defense is capable of forcing some turnovers, which I think they are against this BYU team that has looked good, but not as good as they should. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be tight. I'm taking Arizona on the money line on this one. I'm and that's not a homer pick. I've thought a lot about this. I know when we played in Ames a couple of weeks ago, I was so disgustingly on Iowa State in that one, and rightfully so. But this one feels like a gettable game for U of A. And I think they take care of business, get to 5-1. Might not be enough to crack into that top 25, but going to get some votes at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Last game on...
Over 47.5, by the way. I mean, that's disgustingly low for this game.
That's low. Next game on the slate, last game on the slate, Arizona State, Utah. Utah 5.5-point favorites at home. 48.5 is the total. 63% of the bet, 70% of the money on
Arizona State.
Utah.
Oh, okay.
Utah. Public seems to kind of be on to the type of team Arizona is. And please do shop this line. I'm seeing it anywhere from 4.5 all the way up to 6. So depending on the team you're betting on, you go shop those lines. But honestly, 4, 5.5, 6, 6.5 doesn't really matter. Give me Utah on the money line here. ASU is not bad. They're not a bad football team. I'm not saying they are. I think Utah is better. I think this ranking is premature. And, they were in the ranking last year, and so the AP is looking for a reason to put them back in this year. Give me Utah minus that 5.5.
Yeah, I just got a question for you, AJ. Outside of the Texas Tech game, Utah Texas Tech, obviously 31-10 at home for Utah. Not a good look. What has Utah done this season in their other 4 games?
Noah, I believe belt to ass.
Oh, yeah, they've absolutely blown the fuck out of everybody else they've played. This is such a tough place to go in and play, which also is why, if you need a reason to believe that Texas Tech is a top 5 team, which I can't believe more people don't have them in the top 5 yet, look at what they did in a road environment that is Utah. I mean, Salt Lake, this is one of the tougher environments that doesn't get talked enough about in college football. This is an incredibly hard place to go in and play a game, an incredibly hard place to go in and win a game. ASU is escaped by the skin of their teeth the last couple games against Baylor and TCU, who are good teams, don't get me wrong, but they have escaped those games. They were trailing by multiple scores, I believe, in both of them.
Yeah.
If they get down 2 scores to Utah, it is I don't care if it's the first quarter. ASU goes down 10, 14 points again like they have the last 2 weeks. They're not coming back against Utah. Utah's defense is too good for that. Like I said, I brought up Texas Tech earlier. They're scoring, 55 points a game. Utah held them to 31, which it doesn't feel good if you're a Utah fan because you lost 31-10. But Texas Tech didn't really start scoring until the second half in that game. Utah's defense is very, very damn good. And I don't think ASU is probably scoring more than their score is not going to start with the 2.
No.
I think ASU is going to put up less than 20 points in this game, and I don't think ASU's defense is good enough to keep Utah under 30. So I think this is going to be an over 10-point deficit. I could easily see this being like a 38-6 type of just beat down. And so I'm all over Utah at home, -6, less than a touchdown. Give that to me all day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that is our slate for college football. You got anything else?
I do not. I'm excited for it, though.
Me too. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll do the entire NFL slate. Before we do that, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. I am the Brofict one, AJ. That's the Money Train Noah, and we'll be right back. Good.
All right.
3, 2. And we are back. What's up, DGens? Perfect One AJ here with the Money Train Noah as we are ready to do our normal weekly ritual and dive into the entire NFL slate. Noah, are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and jump right in, Noah, starting with Thursday night football tomorrow night. Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants. Giants, 7.5-point favorites at home, plus 305 on the money line. 40.5 is the total. 63% of the bet, 75% of the money on.
Philly.
Yes, on Philly for a nice bounce back spot on a short week. The public is on Philly here. And I also get it. You know, the Giants going to have some issues without Malik Neighbors for sure, but Cam Scatterboo's still an issue. That Eagles defense looking rough. Noah, what are you leaning on here?
You're saying Cam Scatterboo an issue as in like running the ball or fumbling it that gets returned for a touchdown?
Yes.
God, I waffled so much on this game. I really did. Jackson Dart, a little bit injured. Looks like he should be playing. I hate this pick so much, but I am taking the Giants to cover a touchdown. It's a division rivalry game in prime time on a Thursday night. I feel like the Giants are going to bring something here, and Philly's offense has just looked a little bit dysfunctional. So if the Giants don't turn the ball over 4 times like they did against the Saints, I think they're going to be able to stay in this game. I don't like them enough to like win it outright or anything, but
I get where you're coming from. And the division rivalry, that's why I'm all over the under 40.5 here in prime time on a short week. I like that under here. I am going to bite. I'm going to bite on Eagles minus the 7.5 in the bounce back spot here. I agree with you, Noah. That offense looks dysfunctional. The defense doesn't look as sharp. I think they're a lot better than the Giants right now. And I do think they showed us last week, they'll get the passing game involved. And I think the passing game is going to have a better opportunity against this secondary with the Giants than they did last weekend. So I don't love the pick, but
oh God, this line's in such a bad
it's
place.
A shitty. This is like the week of just the book giving us shitty lines, like up, down. The entire book is just shit line after shit line. It's amazing. But let's keep it moving, Noah. Denver Broncos going to the New York Jets. Broncos 7.5-point favorites, minus 400 on the money line. 43.5 is the total. 42% of the bet, 72% of the money on.
I don't know.
On the Broncos here. They're on the Broncos here. So some of the public money coming in on the Jets spread here, but not a whole lot, Noah. Where are you at on this one?
Again, tough spread in this one, but the Jets have looked bad. They look bad. Denver, if we are to believe that Denver does have a really good defense, which I think they do, they'll take care of business. They should cover 7.5. I say should because I'm not overly confident that they will, but give me the Broncos minus 7.5.
I'm with you, bud. Broncos minus the 7.5. Don't love it. Like that it's at least even money, but
is this one in London or somewhere else?
Yeah, it must be in London or Ireland. Hold on. Good catch on that, Noah. This one being played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England.
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of want to take the Jets now. Crazy shit always happens overseas, dude.
It really does, and different teams adapt better than others to travel. But I'm still riding the Broncos minus 7.5.
I get it.
As long as somebody doesn't eat some bad shrimp on the plane or something like that.
For real. Next game on the slate, Chargers, Dolphins. Dolphins, 4-point dogs at home, plus 170 on the money line. 43.5 is the total. 46% of the bet, 67% of the money on.
Got to be the Chargers, I would imagine.
Yes, on the Chargers here, minus the 4, 3.5 at some books. I think this is a Chargers bounce back. You're going to hear that from a lot from me this week. This is a bounce back spot for the Chargers. There's just too many issues on the Dolphins that even at home, I mean, I think it'll be a close game. I do like the over in this one at 43.5. But I'm on the Chargers minus the 4. I know, dude.
The reason I hate this line so much is because of Marion Hampton going down with that ankle injury.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have actually been a, believe it or not, top 10 pass defense this year. They have gotten run the fuck all over. But the Chargers are going into this game with a running back room of Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal. If those two can be productive, Chargers win this no problem. If the Chargers feel like they need to not rely on the run game because of the running backs for some stupid reason, yes, you are down two of your best offensive linemen, and decide to just try to open it up and pass it the entire game, the Dolphins might have an opportunity to be in this. And that's where the 4 is tough for me.
I know.
I kind of want to take I'm taking the Chargers, but I do kind of want to take Miami. Like, there's a part of me that wants to take Miami to cover 4 points. Because
would you feel better if I gave it to you at 3.5?
No. It's the age-old Chargers gonna Charger, and they've started doing it already after a 3-0 start, and it makes me nervous as hell. Like, I am sweating this pick. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers and just hope that Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal or both of them will just continue to do what other teams have done and just run the ball down Miami's throat. Rico Dowdle had however many fucking yards against him last week, so yeah, give me the Chargers. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I agree. As breaking news, the Toronto Blue Jays will be advancing to the ALCS after eliminating New York in 4 games. So congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays on their next appearance. And wow, do the Yankees fans and players look sad. And Noah, I could not be happier right now. I absolutely love it.
You and me both, brother.
Next game on the slate, Noah, this should be a good one. Seahawks, Jags. 1-point favorites at home, minus 117 on the money line. 47.5 is the total. 73% of the bet, 67% of the money on.
Jacksonville?
No, on Seattle on this one. Them making the long plane ride over to the East Coast on this. But the reason being, Seattle is one of the better road teams to exist in the NFL right now. It's been a thing over the last couple of years now where they win on the road and have troubles winning at home, which is, very counterintuitive to what most of the NFL is. But that's the way Seattle rolls, and that's a stat I like a lot. I also like how Sam Darnold's been playing. Cooper Kupp and JSN have been a great duo. It's been a good team. I like the Seahawks team a lot. Give me the Seahawks on the money line here. I'll just go ahead and take the minus 104 near even money.
Well, on the flip side of that, AJ, I'm going to talk about Liam Cohen.
I love Liam Cohen, dude. I loved what he did on Monday.
Who, when he went to Jacksonville, we were all making fun of him for going, Duval. Yeah, if you saw his locker room speech after that game Monday night, he's got this locker room. He's got full grasp of this locker room. They're all bought into Liam Cohen. Dude's just a winner. And they're playing at home, and they haven't looked like the most impressive team by any means, but they've got ETN going in the run game. Trevor Lawrence is playing all right. Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville at this tiny of a spread. I'm
Ooh,
taking them to get business done at
I don't
home.
hate it.
Move Seattle down to 3-3, a very dangerous, very good 3-3 team if they do lose this game, though.
Very good. And this is a game I've circled on my count, like on my schedule this week, like audio on, like on the main TV. Like this is going to be a very good game, I think.
Oh yeah, it should.
And that leads us to the next game: Dallas Cowboys, Carolina Panthers coming up next. Cowboys 3.5, 3-point favorites. Excuse me on this one. 49.5 is the total. I had it up. Where is it now? They usually love shoving the Cowboys stuff in front of my head. There it is. 63% of the bets, 41% of the money on.
Dallas.
Yes, on Dallas. Public loving Dallas, not the money. Money loving the Panthers, plus the field goal, Noah. How are you on this game?
I this team is going to be the death of me betting this year. The Carolina
Which one?
Panthers.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you want to be? Do you want to be good or do you want to be, in the cellar of the NFL? Like I can't tell. Week in, week out, it looks different. Not even just week in, week out, quarter in, quarter out. Like I think this team's just young, inexperienced. They're raw. They make a lot of mistakes, but they play really well when they are on and they're clicking. They got down 17-0 to Miami last week and then came back and won that game. I'm going to say Carolina gets to 500 this week. I'm going to take them on the money line against Dallas. This is going to be a high-ass scoring shootout, by the way. Give me the over.
Love the over.
No doubt about it. But I'm not even messing around with the +3. I'm going to take Carolina at home on the money line. I think they are going to go in and take care of business. Dallas's defense has been pretty atrocious outside of last week, especially to quarterbacks. And I think Bryce Young is going to have himself a hell of a day. It's going to be probably a really fun one for T-Mac or maybe Chuba Hubbard. I see both of them. And just Chuba is going to be back in the lineup. Doesn't want to lose his job to Rico Dowdle after the week that he had last week. So Chuba is going to come in, probably have a huge game. I could see T-Mac having a not a career game, but a welcome to the league type of game.
It's a give me all of the overs on T-Mac type of day. That's the type of day it's going to be. Over on receptions, over on yards, over on touchdowns, over on passing yards.
Yeah. On the flip side, CeeDee Lamb is returning to the lineup for Dallas. So I hammer do yourself a favor and just hammer the fucking over in this game.
Yeah, love the over. 49.5 is not going to be nearly enough points. This is the game for me. I've been flip-flopping Noah. Like it's been a rough one to go through. Like, again, what does this Panthers team want to be? Can Dallas just, blow out teams 40-33 or whatever and win that way? In T-Mac we trust. Give me Panthers money line. I think T-Mac wins this game. I don't like this game at all. This is probably my least favorite. Love the over in this game more than anything, but I don't like that I have to put my name next to a pick on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
If there's going to be any game this year where we see T-Mac posting like a 10 for 160 and 2 touchdowns type
of
line,
it's this type of a game. Fun.
So if you got him on your fantasy team, do yourself a favor, just throw him in the lineup. T-Mac's he's going to ball out in this one.
Yeah, he's going to have
Young, today. Who you probably don't have on your fantasy team. I'm sure he's not rostered in a ton of leagues, but if Bryce Young's available, if you do need a quarterback for any reason, not a bad play this week.
Would agree against this Cowboys defense. Let's keep it moving, Noah. Patriots, Saints. Patriots 3.5-point favorites on the road here. -193 on the money line. And what is it? 46 is the total. Sorry, I got too many screens up right now. 61% of the bet, 65% of the money on.
Gotta be on the Patriots.
On the Pats to go ahead and go into the Bayou and pick themselves up a dub. And I mean, bro, so you know how much I hate the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We could have put in an offer to Vrabel at least. Like, we could have talked to him. We could have, like, there was a time, well, like before Gannon, where we could have talked to Vrabel, when he didn't coach for a season. And we could have, maybe sent him a message or something, offered him a chunk of change. But no, I did just want to throw that out there for another reason I hate the Arizona Cardinals. With that being said, Drake May was starting to progress in the right way towards the end of last year. I like how he's progressing this year. But again, the defense is the big story here. And Vrabel's got these boys fired up. Like we talked about Liam Cohen, I think we need to give those same respects and flowers to Mike Vrabel and the job he's done here with the Patriots in just an offseason and where they're at right now. Congrats to Spencer Rattler. He won his first NFL game ever. 11th time's the charm, as we said yesterday. Give me the Patriots minus the 3.5 here. I might honestly buy this down to 2.5 because I feel like this feels like the old Patriots where, all right, give me the Patriots minus the 2.5. Give me the under 43, and then we'll call it a day. And I also am on the under in this game too, but like the Patriots in this.
Yeah, well, I think the Patriots are, not favored by enough points in this. And I think the Saints are going to have an opportunity to win this game if they can win the turnover battle 4-0 again.
True.
Do I think they win the turnover battle 4-0? No. Do I think they win the turnover battle? No. Give me Patriots minus 3.5 all day. We talked about a lot of the lines in tough places on this week's slate, but this one was laughable for me. This one was laughable for me. I think Patriots, especially after beating the Bills on Sunday Night Football, this should be a blowout. This should be a blowout.
And but that's the thing. There's got to be something we don't know. Line opened up at 3, moving to 3.5 with, again, 61% of the bet, 65% of the money coming in on the Pats. And so that would, honest to God, like from what I've seen in the past, that would give the book the option to move it up a full point to a 4, where it starts to get a little bit more difficult to rationalize. But I mean, Caesars is posting it at 3.5 at plus 100. They're trying to, I don't know, man. Maybe people are really hyped on that Saints win and people, and the money's not evening out somewhere, but
yeah, I think maybe they won and people are like, okay, yeah, cool, they got to win. But yeah, I don't know, man. Patriots defense is forcing a good amount of turnovers, and Stephon Diggs, welcome back to relevancy. The last 2 weeks, Diggs has just been playing great, and
he's bald.
If Diggs continues to just be a part of the offense like he has the last 2 weeks, this offense is going to look real good. Drake May's got a very nice weapon/safety blanket. Diggs has made a lot of quarterbacks look really good that he's played with. Not saying that he's played with bad quarterbacks necessarily, but he elevates the quarterbacks that he's playing with and just his ability to get open, his route running, just overall talent. And I just don't see a world where New England loses, or not loses this, but I definitely don't see a world where they lose it. But I don't see a world where they don't win this game by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, it might be a nice little 6.5 point. Go ahead and bump that up, but I like it. Los Angeles Rams, Baltimore Ravens. Ravens 7.5 point dogs at home, plus 305 on the money line. 44.5 is the total. 46% of the bet, 63% of the money on
the Ravens?
No, on the Rams. On the Rams. The money loves the Rams in this one. Public sticking with the Ravens plus the 7.5. And to those people betting on the Ravens this week, did we watch what happened last week?
Lamar's back, so
still, I fine. Lamar's back. You're right. This is going to be a closer game. Maybe I look at the over 44.5 a little bit more closely, but Matthew Stafford is one of those quarterbacks who likes to abuse. You should probably press criminal charges against him and bad defenses because he abuses them. He's going to pick this team apart. Give me over on Puka yards. Give me over on Devontae yards. Give me Kyron is out. Give me just everything, bro. Give me the Rams minus a 7.5. Cool that Lamar's back. knowing Lamar after he's been on, out for injury, he tends to take it a little bit easier, especially with a hamstring injury. I don't think we're going to see him run the ball all that much like he usually does. Probably see him move out of the pocket, but still, give me the Rams minus that 7.5.
Yeah, I have the joy of going against the 0-5 team in my fantasy league this week, who happens to have Matthew Stafford,
Oof.
Devontae Adams, and Puka Nacua.
Oof.
It could not be a worse week to be playing the worst.
Could not.
I'm hoping my boys can bring it.
You're gonna have to give a hell of a pep talk on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I just feel a little fucked by this because the Ravens.
You should.
I know I was saying a week ago, like the Ravens, Cowboys, between the two of them for the worst defense in the league. After this past week, I think it's definitely the Baltimore Ravens is the absolute worst defense in the league. They get run all the fuck over. They get passed all the fuck over. At least the Dolphins have a decent pass defense, even though they give up Dolphins are maybe the worst run defense in the league, but Ravens are the worst overall defense in the league. And Lamar is back. I think they're going to score points. I love the over. It's relatively low, so I'm slamming the over. I am going to take the Rams minus 7.5 though, because if you're going to give up 44 points to a Houston team that has scored less than 20 points a game all season, you might as well just give up 40 points plus to everybody. So
yeah,
I don't think the Ravens can score enough points to stay in this game.
I would agree with you on that. Next game, Brownies going up against the Steelers. Steelers 5.5 point favorites at home, minus 275 on the money line. 38.5 is the total. Looking at 64% of the bets, 86% of the money on.
Well, this is a tough one.
I know.
Pittsburgh?
Yes, it is on Pittsburgh, the home favorite here, minus the 5.5. And I'll be completely honest with you, Noah. There is the only reason I am taking this bet. The only reason I'm taking this bet is because of the record Mike Tomlin has against rookie quarterbacks. I'm taking the Steelers minus the 5.5 solely based on the fact that Tomlin is going to fuck Dylan Gabriel up. That is, and I think, and honestly, give me the under in this one too, 38.5. I do think it's going to be a low scoring affair with how good that Cleveland defense is. I do think the Steelers are going to have a tough time with this. Final score prediction, 17-14 or some bullshit like that. I think this is going to be a close one. Well, actually, no, not 17-14, obviously, because then Steelers wouldn't cover. I meant 17-10. I will like the under here at 38.5 as well.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do the same thing I've done for all 5 weeks so far this season, and I'm going to take the Browns to cover.
I don't hate it, dude. I don't hate it. I just can't get there.
1-4 straight up, but they are 3-2 ATS. They did almost cover against the Lions. They did get blown out by the Ravens week 2, but the Brownies like to be in the game. They like to be in the game. They don't necessarily like to win. I don't think the Steelers have the firepower to put them away, and I do still think the Browns are a top 3 defense in the league. And so I think Rodgers, the Pittsburgh offense, is not going to get a lot going. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. Over-under sitting at 37.5. I am taking the under in this one. And I don't love the Browns enough to take a money line, but I could see this being a 13-9 game either way.
Honestly.
That's where I'm sitting at, 13-9 either way. One team's going to have 2 field goals and a touchdown. The other team's going to have 3 field goals, and that's going to be what it is. And maybe we get a safety in the mix. Maybe 13-11. That's my bold prediction. We're going 13-11. I don't know who's winning, but somebody's winning 13-11. Somebody's getting a safety. Or it ends up being a 15-9 cover for the Steelers because they get that safety.
They get that safety.
Either way, I'm taking the Browns on the 5.5. I think divisional matchup, two really good defenses, two offenses that aren't overly impressive, and Jalen Warren is supposed to be back this week, so we'll see if that makes a difference for Pittsburgh.
Also to note, TJ Watt's birthday on Sunday.
He's what?
It's his birthday.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday.
I mean, I'm just saying, TJ Watt's birthday.
Happy birthday. Have a win. Don't have a cover.
Oh, that's right. You're on the Browns. My bad.
Let's talk about it.
Cardinals, Colts, 7-point favorites at home through minus 345 on the money line, 46.5 is the total. 59% of the bets, 84% of the money on
the Colts.
Kyler Murray day to day with that foot injury he suffered when he got a concussion from getting a football snapped in the helmet. So we get Jacoby Brissett. Is it bad that I feel a little bit better with the ball in Jacoby Brissett's hands than Kyler Murray? Yeah, I think that honestly explains the state of the Arizona Cardinals right now. No, don't you dare stand up for him. Don't you dare stand up for him.
Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, no, Kyler Murray. I thought you were about to stand on a soapbox for Kyler.
No, I said Jacoby Brissett. He's a seasoned veteran. He's been around the block a few times.
No, exactly. I feel like the Cardinals' offense is somehow going to run better with him. And he can see over the offensive line. What a fucking concept. I took the Colts last night at 6.5. I'll take him at 7. I'll take him at 7.5. I'll take him at 8. I'll take him at 10. I'll take him at 13.5. I do think the Cardinals are going to come out with some type of fire and trying to prove hey, listen, we're not the most embarrassing team in the NFL, even though we lost that game to the Titans last week. I had my Cardinals shirt on, Noah. I had my Cardinals shirt on to do this show today, and I looked myself in the mirror and I took it off. That's where I'm at with my fandom right now. Give me the Colts minus the 7. I'm glad this game is buried in the morning slate.
Yeah, this was a tougher one than I anticipated. I'm sitting here looking at this line, and Colts have looked real damn good this season. Cardinals, not so much. Not that that's anything profound, but they do have Danny Dimes as their quarterback, and he's played really, really well this season, and feels like he's due for a couple mistakes.
No, Noah, listen. I have not done this in 2 years. I haven't done this in 2 years, and I'm going to pull this out because I haven't done this in 2 years. Don't do what you're about to do.
Well, you say don't
do it, Noah.
And I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover, and I am buying the hook on here. We're going to take.
Oh, fine. You're going to buy the hook.
I think the Cardinals make this a competitive game, and I think they have found, despite all the injuries, a running back that works here in Michael Carter, and we may see a little DeMercado. Probably won't see hardly any of him after he only got 3 carries in the last game. One of those was a 70-yard run where he just decided to drop the ball before the end zone, costing them the game. Not to pour salt in your wound there, AJ. That still has.
You tied the Cowboys, damn it.
Okay. We didn't lose to the Titans.
Fuck you. You tied the Cowboys. Anyway.
You didn't lose to the Titans.
You tied the Cowboys.
Either way, I'm on the Cardinals plus 7.5. I think they keep this one competitive. I think Daniel Jones is going to look less than perfect in this game.
Noah, just send me that unit. I'll find a penny stock that will make fucking more money than us than betting on the Cardinals this week.
I will say I am anticipating this to be a not fun game to watch. I think it's... And the reason I'm taking the Cardinals is because I think it's just going to be an ugly fucking game on both sides. And
I think the Colts.
For that reason, I'm also
on double touchdown game.
I'm also on under 46.5. I think this one's ugly. Cards keep it close. I don't know who wins. We'll see.
Next game on the slate: Titans, Raiders. 4-point favorites at home, minus 235 on the money line. 41.5 is the total. Public. Where's this game? There it is. 50% of the bet, 76% of the money coming in on
the Titans.
The Raiders.
I should have guessed that. They're in
You should have
Vegas.
guessed that. The Raiders, Las Vegas, they're at home. They're going to get a lot of bets, going to get a lot of money. We've seen this a lot of times. Geno Smith, love him as a quarterback. Is leading the league in interceptions at 9, Noah, and I think he's about to increase that a little bit as well. Titans defense, not the best, but can get it done when it needs to. I've been big on Cam Ward all season. And his tape still speaks for himself. These is two really bad teams going at it, but you're going to give me more than a field goal. I'll take more than a field goal. Give me the Titans minus the 4. I got it at 4.5 yesterday. Like the 4.5 better, but I'll take the 4.
All right. I'm going to be on the opposite side of this. I will take the Raiders minus the 4. I think Geno keeps it tight this game. The one win that they have, he threw 0 interceptions. He's thrown interceptions in all 4 of the losses. But I think Geno keeps it tight this game, has a decent game, but that's because Ashton Genty's going to be running all over this Titans defense. So Geno's not going to be asked to do too much. He's going to play a clean game. I'm not saying go ahead and start Geno in fantasy because I don't think he's going to have a phenomenal stat-wise game. But the important stat here is going to be the interceptions. If Geno throws 0 interceptions, they run the ball efficiently with Ashton Genty, which I think they can absolutely over this Titans defense. Raiders are going to come out of this one on top and by more than the 4 points.
Do we know if Bowers is back?
He will be back, yes.
He will be back? Okay. I like the Raiders a little bit more, but I still think the Titans somehow fuck around and find out. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel like if the Raiders, if they added 1 or 2, like
a wide receiver.
Yeah, not even wide receiver ones. You throw a Rashid Shaheed
or Hollywood Brown, someone in there that can go up and get something. I mean,
yeah, a really fast, down the field threat, like a Henry Ruggs or something like that. That could improve the way that Geno's looking if he's got a guy who can actually get open downfield because he's throwing it downfield. 2 guys who are not open and throwing plenty of picks doing so. But, by the way, Henry Ruggs, he's a free agent.
He is a free agent.
You did draft him.
Next game on the slate, Packers, Bengals. Packers, 14-point favorites, 44.5 is the total. 46% of the bets, 42% of the money on.
So you said 40-40.
No, 46% of the bets, 42% of the money.
Ugh, God, I don't know. Green Bay.
Yeah. Public hating on Green Bay and the 2-point spread with the news that Joe Flacco will be starting for the Bengals this week, looking to be the first quarterback ever to beat a team twice in a year. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The second quarterback ever to beat a team twice in a year on 2 different teams. But Noah, there is a big difference between these teams in Ohio. Again, someone asked on Twitter if it's elder abuse with Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. I mean, so Joe Flacco going to the Bengals. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. You're taking him from Cleveland where there's no weapons but somewhat of an offensive line, and you're putting him with the Bengals with all of the weapons and no offensive line, with Micah Parsons on the edge coming in this weekend. I mean, listen, do I think that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins might actually have a good week in fantasy? Yeah, probably. They actually have a quarterback throwing them the football.
I fucking hope so, because both of my leagues goddamn T. Higgins, and he hadn't done goddamn shit all year long. It's pissing me the fuck off.
But
still putting up numbers, but T. Higgins is just lost in the fucking dust.
I get it, Noah, but I do have good news for you. I do think the Packers win this one. I think they win this one by more than 2 touchdowns. I'm going to take the 14 with the Pack because the Bengals have no defense, no offensive line. They have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and now Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I hate that this line is this high.
It's very high.
It's warranted, but I hate that it's there. And if this was week 3, and we were going off of the Packers' first two games, it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this should be a massive fucking blowout.
Yeah.
Then the Packers proceeded to lose to the Browns and then tie the Cowboys. Thank God for the Week 5 bye week. I was upset about that when the schedule came out. I was like, why the fuck do we have a bye week so early? And then I was like, okay, and injuries on the offensive line and everything. I was like, okay, nope. And at wide receiver, I was like, this actually, it's a good thing. I'm in hindsight, I'm glad we got a Week 5 bye. This line's tough because, coming off the bye, I do expect the Pack to come out big time.
Yeah.
To your point, Joe Flacco literally pulled a full 180 on a situation. Went from having minimal weapons, a decent offensive line, and a really good defense to now having some of the best weapons in the league, no offensive line, and no defense. So I guess we'll put that to the test and see what's the better situation. The pick on this is so hard because of the line.
It's a tough line.
Packers are going to win this game. They're going to put up a lot of points. We'll see what the defense does. I am going to take some blind faith in my team coming off the bye week and take the 14. I don't love that line, though. I could totally see this being like a 8 to 12 point game somewhere in there, But I'm going to bank on lack of chemistry with Joe Flacco just getting into the building like a day or two ago.
So I agree. I think that's going to be a bigger factor than people are going to.
Yeah, less than a full week. I don't think Flacco gets a second win over the Packers. Shouldn't have had a first one, if we're being honest. But Jordan Love decided to throw a terrible fucking boneheaded interception. And then Packers special teams is, as I always say, anything but special.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this one. Rashawn Gary did get 2 sacks on Joe Flacco when they played the Browns. It would be fun to see Rashawn Gary get 2 more sacks at least. Let's Rashawn Gary and Joe Flacco, match made in heaven in the backfield.
Absolutely. Next matchup on the slate, Noah. 49ers, Bucks. 3-point favorites at home, minus 162 on the money line. 47.5 is the total. And I got to say, Noah, I think this line is more of a reaction to the book tired of getting screwed by the Buccaneers in the last play of the game. I think this is like throughout the game, this is going to be one they're very we'll
take a push. We'll take a push.
Yeah, we'll take a push. I think this is going to be a line like during the game, unless San Francisco gets up by a significant amount of points, they don't look at moving off of the Buccaneers too heavy. But I mean, hey, they've won 3 games this season on the last drive. Baker has that dog in him and is that dog. And I love everything this team is. Yes, they are injured, but if Emeka Egbuka is catching footballs, life is good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not to mention Rachaad White is still a thing. Don't forget about him. I think it's a big game for them. Give me the Bucks minus the 3. I think they're going to be a little too much to handle for that 49ers defense.
Yeah, and it does look like Bucky Irving will be out at least one more week.
Yeah.
So Rachaad White should be getting the lion's share again. Honestly, didn't even look like they took a fucking step back with Rachaad White instead of Bucky Irving. Emeka Egbuka obviously just tearing it up in his rookie year. Making a huge case already. We're so early in the season, I hate to speculate on awards already, but it does look like he's kind of putting some good distance between himself and the rest of the pack for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
For sure.
I expect he continues to do that. My biggest thing on this one, and the biggest reason why I am on Tampa Bay minus 3 on this, is because who's going to be playing quarterback for San Francisco this week? Brock Purdy.
Ooh.
Who I do believe is a slight downgrade from Mac Jones. And I will die on this fucking hill. Mac Jones is 3-0. Brock Purdy 1-1 with a loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 4-1. They're not a bad team. Let's not get that wrong. But I think Mac Jones is a slightly better quarterback. And they're going back to Brock Purdy. Tampa Bay, it's going to be another close game. Tampa Bay loves to play in close games. But I think they get to 5-1 here. And I think they cover the 3 points. I'm okay with being at 3 even because, you know what? I'll take a push if it comes down to a 3-point game.
You want to feel better about this game? 56% of the bet, 69% of the money coming in on the 49ers. So that's fun. Sunday Night Football, Noah. Detroit Lions going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites at home, -135 on the money line. 53 is the total here. 83% of the bets, 91% of the money coming in on
Detroit.
Yes, coming in on the Lions, plus the money, plus the points. And I think the real question comes down to how much do you trust that Chiefs defense? I think that's where the real question comes down to, because, you know, the Lions are going to let points happen. Like the Chiefs, this is going to be a high-scoring game. 53 is a little high for me, so I'm going to be staying off of this total personally. I am leaning towards the over, though. I'm going with the Lions here. I'm going with the Lions plus the 2.5. Going with Lions on the money line too. I still think this Chiefs team leaves a lot to be desired. I think the Lions have a good chance of winning in the trenches on the defensive side. I'm not a big fan of what that O-line is doing for the Chiefs. So yeah, I'm going to take Lions every which way to Sunday.
Yeah, this was another one that was actually tough for me.
Tough game, yeah.
I do echo a lot of what you said about the Chiefs. Like, they have not looked all that great. They do have kind of a hellish schedule coming up.
Yeah.
Obviously, this one against the Lions. They do get a game at home against the Raiders, but then they play Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers for their next little run there. Chiefs are going to have to step up, and they have looked a lot better the last 2 or 3 weeks, even despite falling short a couple times.
Yeah.
The offense seems like it's stepped back into being a decent offense that we didn't really see a lot the last 2 years. Yet the flip side of that is the defenses seem to regress, which is concerning because the defense is why they were still winning a shit ton of games the last 2 years, even though the offense wasn't performing at the same level. And now the offense has elevated their game, but the defense has seemingly gotten a little lost. And if the defense is going to be a little lost against this Detroit Lions offense, you're not winning the game.
No,
you're not winning the game. You have to... You have to play a phenomenal defensive game to beat the Detroit Lions. You know,
I agree. Yeah,
not having Ben Johnson doesn't matter. This Lions offense is so explosive that you have to play a good defensive game. And I don't know. I haven't seen it from the Chiefs most of this season, and so I am on the Lions -2.5. I'm on the over. I don't care how high it is. I think we're going to see a lot of points in this game. I think we could see a very well kind of like carbon copy of the Jacksonville game where the Chiefs maybe lose this one 34-31 or something like that.
I could see it too, Noah. Let's keep it moving to Monday Night Football. Double header action, because for some reason we're doing that a lot this season, which I'm not a fan of.
I hate this shit.
I hate it too. Bills, Falcons, 4.5-point dogs at home, plus 175 on the money line. 49.5 is the total. 69% of the bets, 85% of the money on.
Should be on the Bills.
It is on the Bills, Noah, and I got to say I'm on the Bills as well. I think this is a huge bounce-back game for them. I have not been a fan of the Falcons' defense. Yes, I understand the Falcons were on a bye week last week, and they've had a whole week to prep for this game. I don't think it matters. I think the Bills are going to be out for blood and out for vengeance over last week's loss against the Patriots. Give me the Bills -4.5 here.
Yeah, Falcons have had a whole extra week to think about how bad they're going to get their asses beat from their home crowd, because worst thing that could have happened for the Falcons was the Bills losing to the Patriots.
Yep.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I mean, absolute belt to ass is what I'm expecting in this one. And so I think the Bills run away with this one by a good 14, 17, 20 points, some shit like that. Like, the 4.5 is way too low of a line for this game.
I am right there with you, bub. Next game on the slate. Second doubleheader for Monday Night Football. Commanders 4.5-point favorites at home, minus 230 on the money line. 49.5 is the total. 59% of the bets, 46% of the money on.
Sorry, repeat those numbers one more time.
Okay, 59% of the bets.
Okay.
46% of the money.
So
on.
Pretty split either way, but I'm gonna say Washington.
On da Bears plus the 4.5. Public loving the Bears plus the 4.5. The money is slightly liking Commanders minus 4.5 a little bit more. Listen, congrats to the Bears. That was the first bye week in a long time they haven't lost, so I really do appreciate them doing that.
Yeah, nobody made jokes about the Bears losing the bye week this year.
Exactly. They didn't lose a bye week this week, and so that's huge. Coming off of a couple of nice wins. Looks like Ben Johnson's got the boys rolling. Looks like this offense might, have a little bit of something going up against the Commanders defense that, hasn't been the greatest in the league, but, needs a little improvement. I can see where the public's coming from, Noah, but unfortunately, been here, done that before. Give me the Commanders minus the 4.5. This Bears team, I mean, yes, they've played well against bad teams. I don't expect this to continue, and I don't expect the Bears to have a great season overall. Good enough season for Ben Johnson and everyone to keep their job? Sure. He's got at least 1 more year, 2 more years with the Bears, but give me the Commanders minus the 4.5 here. I think this is going to be a closer game than people are expecting. I think the Commanders only win by a touchdown, and it's going to be, coming in the fourth quarter, but I do think the Commanders win this game and win it by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, Commanders had a nice coming out party last week against the Chargers, who are supposed to be a pretty decent defense, especially Bill. Bill had a nice
Bill.
So we finally have established who our running back 1 is. I don't know why this wasn't the case before the season started. Obviously, Eckler went down with the season-ending injury, and then they were kind of splitting the share 3 ways. And then I think this last week, Washington said, yep, okay, we know who our best running back is. We're good. Jaden Daniels came back after a week off with injury, and I expect the Commanders' offense to pretty much impose their will on the Bears. I don't have a ton of good things to say about the Commanders' defense, so I think this is going to be another high-scoring affair. I'm staying off the 49.5, but yeah, I think the Bears are going to move the ball, score some points, but Washington's just going to do it better. And so I'm on 4.5 with Washington. Don't absolutely love the line. Wish this more at a 2.5, 3.5 line, but that's okay. I'm okay taking it.
I like it. I like it a lot, Noah. Well, that is our college slate and the full NFL slate. You have anything else to say before we sign off for the weekend?
Finishing notes. Cubs get a nice win to extend that series. I don't think it's going to mean too much. Philly's looking like they're trying to keep fighting, and I hope they keep doing it. But again, I not a lot of hope that they're going to win 2 in Dodger Stadium and then take 1 back home. But
well, shit, the Dodgers are throwing Kershaw right now.
Yeah,
after Yamamoto gave up that
playoff
stuff.
Baseball
Anyway,
always.
No, I know.
You start throwing starters out there to throw an inning or 2 in relief, just because
you might as well.
Best, but we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, we're going to keep an eye on playoff baseball. We'll probably be. I assume next time we're going to be live.
We'll be getting into the CS. We should be in game 1, game 2.
Yeah, divisional series should be over. We'll break some of that down, but yeah.
Yeah, all good stuff. NHL season is heating up as well. We'll keep an eye on that. NBA starting soon. We got the Sports Equinox right around the corner. Not going to want to miss that. And then a NFL season's kicking off. College basketball around the corner. No, it's a beautiful time to be a sports fan. And if you want to stay up to date with everything, hit that follow button, hit that like button. Does help us out a lot more than you know. Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like it, we're cooking. I'm going to say it one more time. Hit that follow button, hit that like button. Helps us out a lot. But with all that being said, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great weekend betting on football and enjoying the incredible slates we have. I, of course, have been the Bro Fix one, AJ. That's the Money Train, Noah. And we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.